You started selling when you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Oh, goodness. You know, at 8 years old, I'll never forget, I wanted to help my family make money. My parents weren't doing very well financially. Hell, in modern society, I think that they're middle to lower class still to this day. They refuse to quit their day job. And my dad was working 3 or 4 jobs. At that point, I'm in third, fourth grade, right? And my mom was a stay-at-home mom up until my age of approximately 8. She went to work in a factory. She still works in the same factory 30 years later to this day. And I felt like I wanted to contribute. And so I got a paper route. And in Northern Illinois, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they used to have these little tear-off tags. That was how you gave a receipt for the newspaper. And so you would sell the newspaper, you would knock on doors in between your route if you wanted to create more income, and you would sell them on the idea of subscribing to the newspaper. And then every 2 weeks you'd go around collecting, and you would get the little tab and you'd tear it off. This is your receipt. You paid for this week through this week, and you collect the money. And then at the end of that biweekly period, you'd meet with your route manager and exchange the money that you owed for your papers, and you'd keep the difference. However, as times progressed, being more efficient, they found that they could create a subscription model way back then, right? And if they did that, well, then they could have more efficiency, right? They could have larger profits. And so they would encourage us kids to get people to pay in the office. I was the only person at this particular newspaper or route manager, deliver, paper boy, however you want to call it, that had every one of my clients paying in office within 2 weeks. Every single one of them. If I had to guess, I'd say I probably had 200-300 papers I was delivering at 8 years old. So that's a pretty big deal. I was making at that point more money than my parents were, and they were working 40-hour work weeks because of the profit margins and so forth. I ended up getting a second and third paper route. Well, you had to be 10 to have a route. And for those of you that have not met me, I'm 6'5" and like 245, 50 pounds, depending on what day it is. I'm a big guy, but I've always been larger in stature. And so this was no different. They just assumed that I was older than I was, put me in a route. We'll do the paperwork later. And then Karen shows up at my door, right? I'll never forget Karen. She shows up and we need to talk, and we sit down, and I didn't know this meeting was happening. My parents called me in, and basically they were going to let me go. And my natural God-given abilities to just hustle kicked in. And when they were about to get up, I said, wait a minute, I got an idea. What if we put the route in my dad's name, and if I do a good job, when I turn 10, give me 2 or 3 more routes? Needless to say, they all agreed that would be a great idea since I was doing such a great job. And within like 9 months, I still hadn't hit 9 years old at this point. I was, still 8 or 9 years old. I hadn't hit 10, I'm sorry. And I had 5 routes, making great money for 1987 or 88, whatever that was, right? And I'm making $300-400 a week delivering newspapers and selling the subscription model that they had wanted us to do. So several awards. I remember getting a signed autographed baseball and so forth. So I've just always been, at heart, this entrepreneur and salesperson, right? It's always just came natural and fun to me. So I got fired and for the first and last time and pitched them to convince them to let me stay on with them as long as it was in my dad's name. So 1099 myself to my dad, I guess. I don't know.
Hey guys, Bryce McKinley here, Coach Sharpen. You know what time it is. I want to personally thank you for watching these videos. You see, you might want to subscribe to this channel, and I'm not just saying that to get more followers, but the knowledge that I drop, I guarantee you won't get anywhere else. You see, the information that I give is not just the fluff that every other puru, screw and guru talks about. You might want to stay alert for what's happening next. So, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep you posted. You're not going to want to miss what I drop on this channel.
Every single day